In the heart of Southeast Asia lies a facility that few have ever seen yet. Its impact reverberates across the globe. Welcome to the world's largest python snake processing factory, a place where nature's magnificent creatures meet industrial efficiency. In a way that's both fascinating and deeply unsettling, pythons, those all-inspiring constrictors that have captured human imagination for centuries, are not just subjects of wildlife documentaries or exotic pets. They have become a valuable commodity in a global industry that transforms these serpents into luxury goods and traditional medicines. But the journey from jungle to jacket is one that raises profound questions about our relationship with wildlife and the ethical boundaries of commerce. As we step into this sprawling complex, the first thing that strikes us is the sheer scale of the operation. Rows upon rows of holding pens stretch as far as the eye can see, each containing dozens of pythons in various sizes. The air is thick with a mixture of reptilian musk and industrial cleaners. Workers in protective gear move efficiently between the pens, their movements practiced and precise. The pythons processed here are primarily reticulated pythons, one of the world's longest snake species in the wild. These magnificent creatures can grow up to 30 feet long and weigh over 300 pounds. They are apex predators capable of taking down prey as large as deer or even small crocodile. Yet here in this factory, their power is subdued, their fate sealed. The processing begins with the arrival of freshly caught pythons. Trappers and hunters from across Southeast Asia supply the factory with a steady stream of snakes as trucks pull up to the loading docks. One cannot help but wonder about the journey these animals have endured. Many have been plucked from their natural habitats, transported for days in cramped conditions, only to arrive at this final destination. Once unloaded, the pythons are sorted by size and condition. The largest and most pristine specimens are destined for the luxury leather market, their skins to be transformed into high-end handbags, shoes, and accessories that will adorn the shelves of exclusive boutiques in Paris, Milan, and New York. Smaller or damaged snakes are typically processed for meat and traditional medicine markets. The first stage of processing is perhaps the most confronting. In a large clinical room, workers dispatched the pythons using methods that the factory claims are humane, but animal rights activists vehemently dispute. The snakes are typically stunned before being quickly decapitated. It's a process that happens with alarming speed and efficiency, a stark reminder of the industrial scale of this operation. Once dispatched, the pythons move through the factory like a mob assembly line. Skilled workers, many of whom have been doing this job for decades, begin the intricate process of skinning. Their hands move with practiced precision, separating the valuable hide from the body in one continuous piece. It's a skill that takes years to master, as any mistake can significantly reduce the value of the skin. The skin, still glistening and pliable, are then stretched on frames to dry. Row after row of python skins create a surreal tapestry, each unique pattern a testament to the individual snake it once belonged to. These skins will undergo further treatment, including tanning and dyeing, before they're ready for the fashion industry. But it's not just the skins that are valuable. In many Asian markets, python meat is considered a delicacy and is believed to have medicinal properties. The factory processes this meat with the same efficiency it handles the skins. Workers carefully separate the flesh from the bones, packaging it for distribution to restaurants and traditional medicine shops across the region. Even the bones and internal organs find a use, ground into powders or distilled into oils. These parts will become ingredients in traditional medicines, believed by some to cure ailments ranging from arthritis to impotence. The factory's motto seems to be that nothing goes to waste, a philosophy that would be admirable if not for the nature of the product. As we move through the facility, it's impossible not to be struck by the contrast between the natural world these pythons come from and the industrial setting they end up in. The jungle, sinuous predators have been reduced to raw materials, their wild essence stripped away in the name of human desire and profit. The scale of this operation raises serious questions about sustainability and conservation. Pythons, while not currently listed as endangered, face increasing pressure from habitat loss and exploitation. The factory management insists that they source their snakes responsibly, working with local communities to ensure sustainable harvesting. They point to captive breeding programs and quotas as evidence of their commitment to conservation, however. Critics argue that the very existence of such large-scale processing encourages over-harvesting in the wild. They point out that despite regulations, the illegal trade in python skins continues to thrive, driven by the high prices these products command in the global market. The line between legally and illegally sourced pythons can be blurry, and once the skin enters the processing chain, its origin becomes nearly impossible to trace. The economic impact of this industry cannot be ignored. For many rural communities in Southeast Asia, python hunting provides a significant source of income. The factory employs hundreds of local workers, offering steady jobs in areas where employment opportunities can be scarce. Yet this economic benefit comes at a cost to local ecosystems and biodiversity. As we near the end of our tour, we come to the shipping area. Here, finished products are packaged and prepared for transport to destinations around the world. Boxes of dried meat sit alongside crates of tanned skins, each representing dozens of pythons. It's a sobering reminder of the volume of snakes processed here annually. The global demand for python products shows no signs of slowing. High-end fashion houses continue to use python skin in their collections. Despite growing criticism from animal rights groups, the traditional medicine market, particularly in China and Southeast Asia, remains strong, fueled by centuries-old beliefs in the healing properties of snake-based remedies. Some argue that if managed properly, the python trade could be sustainable, providing economic benefits while incentivizing habitat conservation. They point to successful models of sustainable use in other species, such as crocodiles, where carefully managed harvesting has actually led to population recovery and habitat protection. Others, however, believe that no level of commercial exploitation can be justified for these magnificent creatures. They argue that pythons as apex predators play a crucial role in maintaining ecosystem balance, and that their large-scale removal can have cascading effects throughout their habitats. As we conclude our tour of the world's largest python processing factory, we're left with more questions than answers. The facility is a testament to human ingenuity and efficiency, yet it's also a stark reminder of the often unseen cost of our consumer desires. Each handbag, each pair of shoes, each vial of medicine represents a life taken from the wild. The python trade sits at the intersection of complex issues: conservation, animal welfare, economic development, and cultural traditions. There are no easy solutions, no clear right or wrong answers. What is clear, however, is that as long as there is demand for python products, facilities like this will continue to operate. As consumers, we have the power to influence this industry by being aware of the origin of products we buy and questioning the necessity of using wildlife and fashion and medicine. We can contribute to a more sustainable and ethical future. The fate of these magnificent creatures, and indeed of many of our planet's species, rests in our hands. The world's largest python processing factory is more than just the industrial facility. It's a mirror reflecting our complex and often contradictory relationship with the natural world. It challenges us to consider the true cost of our consumption and to question where we draw the line between use and exploitation of wildlife. As we leave this place, the image of those python skins stretched out to dry lingers in our minds. Each scale, each pattern tells the story of a creature that once sided through the jungles of Southeast Asia. It's a powerful reminder of the impact our choices can have on the natural world and the responsibility we bear to ensure that our desire for luxury and tradition does not come at a high price for the planet's biodiversity. The python factory stands as a testament to human ingenuity and our ability to efficiently process natural resources. But it also serves as a warning. As we continue to push the boundaries of what we can do, we must also consider what we should do. The future of pythons, and indeed of many species, may depend on our ability to balance our desires with the needs of the natural world. In the end, the story of the world's largest python processing factory is not just about snakes, it's about us. It's about the choices we make as consumers, the policies we support as citizens, and the legacy we want to leave for future generations. As we face the challenges of conservation in an increasingly industrialized world, the fate of the python may well be a bellwether for our ability to coexist with the wild creatures that share our planet. The hum of machinery fades as we exit the factory, but the questions that raises continue to resonate in a world where the wild and the industrial collide. What price are we willing to pay for luxury? And more importantly, what price is too high? These are the questions we must grapple with as we consider the true cost of turning nature's marvels into commodities. The python story is far from over, and this next chapter will be written by the choices we make today.